Welcome back. South Dakota Magazine helping debut the brand new South Dakota Arts Journal. This celebrates the wide art scene that is in the state. And joining me today is Jim Spears, the Executive Director of Arts South Dakota. So thank you again for joining us today.
Yeah, my pleasure.
So this, a lot to kind of break down in this. What all went into putting this one together? And what goes into putting the usual issues together as well?
Well, this is a very special issue, and it's really about 2 years worth of planning. Arts South Dakota is a nonprofit arts service organization, and for many years we've published a magazine called Arts Alive, but it's more of a current events, arts news publication. And when we started working with South Dakota Magazine, we talked a lot about this big idea of a arts journal, something that's sort of timeless, a collectible piece, something that chronicles contemporary art throughout the state, and we have so much good art to talk about in this state. So this was really a 2-year project of working with their staff as well as our partners at the South Dakota Arts Council to produce this piece. On a regular basis, I don't work directly with South Dakota Magazine on every one of their issues, so I can't tell you all the details, but I know it's a lot of work. I'm familiar with their staff. They do amazing work. We have one of the best state magazines, I think, in the country.
Okay, that we can get at least some of the tea, not all the tea though. That's okay.
Yeah.
You said about 2 years of work putting this all together. Within that whole time frame, is there anything that jumped out to you that you got to learn or be a part of, and just gathering the information or getting to see something over those 2 years?
Yeah, you know, I don't think it was necessarily surprising, but it's still a bit overwhelming how difficult it is to select what we're going to include. I mean, this is a 76-page publication, and it's hard to decide what are we going to feature. There's so many great creative stories, art stories happening across the state. There's no way we could capture them all in one magazine. So, you know, I knew that was going to be the case, but when we started planning and working on the actual issue, it was a bit overwhelming. It was, you know, what do we include, what don't we include, how do we make that decision? And then just knowing that, you know, we're going to do this every year. That's our goal, is to publish one of these a year, is to make sure we're always looking for those unique stories to tell about the arts community in our state.
And within, obviously, a big area, do you have a loose kind of parameter of how far you all went to? Do you all go to Buffalo, Rapid City, and kind of collect some of this art? Or?
Yeah, everywhere. This goes across the entire state, all 9 Native nations within South Dakota. You're going to find elements within the publication. I can't say we covered a story in every county per se, but you'll find really every region of the state included.
And for people looking to pick one up, where can they, and where can they get their hands on one?
Well, the best thing I can do is point them to artssouthdakota.com or .org, artssouthdakota.org, and we have a list on our website as well as South Dakota Magazine's website. There is a retail distributor list where you can find out where you can buy one locally, because they're sold in communities across the state, so you can probably find one near you. And
you mentioned the big collaborative effort, putting out one a year, but really trying to narrow down everything that you want. What type of effort, can you maybe explain to people the kind of effort that goes into that and scouring every inch of the state, essentially?
Yeah, you know, our work, we connect with artists across the state. So we're very familiar with, I think, the sort of the scene, if you will, the art scene. But one of the things we want to do is we want to be able to equitably tell that story, you know, across the state, across art forms, disciplines, people of South Dakota. And then most importantly, we need to put something together that's visually beautiful. I mean, this itself is sort of an arts piece. So we need to be able to go in and capture beautiful photography of art, you know, like this piece of the Fulton mural. So that's another factor, you know. Some stories lend themselves to telling visually better than others. So it's, you know, it's not from my perspective, there's not a formula or a science to it. It's you know, having a great group of people around the editor's table making those decisions, and then working with people like the folks at South Dakota Magazine that are the best. They're the pros. They know how to tell great stories. So we trusted them and relied upon them to put this together.
A lot of collaboration going into that, and making a lot of effort into something so small, but something you should definitely give a check out as soon as you can.
Yeah, we're excited. I hope everyone that's into the arts, that our arts folks across the state, can go and pick a copy of this up. They'll love it.
Thank you, Jim. Well, thank you again, and appreciate your time. We'll be right back with Final Check the Forecast after this.